In the past, the American passport was seen as a golden key, granting access to nearly every corner of the world with open arms and smiling faces. But fast forward to 2024, and the global narrative has shifted dramatically. Due to shifting foreign policies, rising nationalism, controversial leadership, and deepening geopolitical divides, many countries are rethinking their relationship with the United States, not just diplomatically, but also on a people-to-people level. American travelers are discovering that the world isn't quite as welcoming as it used to be. From heightened border inspections and tougher visa processes to unspoken social resentment and public protests, the American image abroad has been taking a noticeable hit. It's no longer just about politics, it's about perception. Countries that were once considered friendly allies are now expressing discomfort, distrust, and in some cases, outright hostility toward American tourists and expats. Whether it's due to disagreements over climate policy, military interventions, cultural imperialism, or trade wars, the collapse of America's global reputation in 2024 is affecting ordinary citizens more than ever. This video dives into 7 countries where Americans are increasingly being rejected, socially, politically, or diplomatically. From Europe to North America to the Middle East, the winds have shifted. If you're an American planning international travel soon, you may want to watch this video until the end before booking your next flight. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss the truth behind the headlines, because the world is changing fast, and your passport may not be as powerful as it once was. Number 1. Turkey. Once a strategic partner and NATO ally, Turkey has taken a sharp turn away from its traditionally warm ties with the United States. The deteriorating relationship stems from multiple flashpoints: the U.S. support of Kurdish militia groups seen as threats by Ankara, tensions over the extradition of political figures, and Turkey's purchase of the Russian S-400 missile system, which resulted in U.S. sanctions. But it's not just political leaders clashing. Public sentiment in Turkey has cooled toward American tourists. In 2024, several U.S. travelers reported long interrogations at customs, invasive searches, and suspicion simply for being American. Street interviews and online forums reveal growing resentment, with many Turks associating Americans with foreign interference and double standards. Tourist areas once packed with American visitors now see fewer U.S. flags and more caution. The U.S. State Department currently maintains a Level 2 advisory for Turkey, urging Americans to exercise increased caution due to arbitrary detentions and terrorism risks. Airplane before you fly to Istanbul or Cappadocia. Subscribe for travel updates that could affect your next trip. Number 2. Mexico. Despite sharing a long border, close trade ties, and deep cultural connections, the relationship between Mexico and the United States has grown increasingly complex, and in some places, hostile. While tourism continues, especially in beach destinations like Cancun or Cabo San Lucas, Americans are encountering stronger anti-U.S. sentiment in many cities. This rising tension is rooted in controversial immigration enforcement, U.S. gun trafficking into Mexico, and negative portrayals of Mexican citizens in American media and politics. Combined with cartel violence and corruption concerns, some local communities are no longer welcoming Americans with open arms. In border towns and interior cities, some U.S. travelers have experienced being overcharged, verbally harassed, or even told to go back home. Social media platforms are filled with videos and posts highlighting incidents where Americans were told they weren't wanted in public venues. Globe showing America's planning to cross the border? Comment below if you've had a similar experience, and don't forget to subscribe for uncensored travel content. Number 3. Germany. Germany, once one of America's strongest allies in Europe, has grown increasingly disillusioned with the U.S., especially in the aftermath of policy shifts under recent American administrations. Whether it's the U.S. withdrawal from climate agreements, the handling of Ukraine aid, or trade tariffs on European goods, Germans have been vocal in their criticism. Today, American travelers report a colder reception in cities like Berlin and Frankfurt. Locals often challenge American views in casual conversation, and some restaurants and shops have gone so far as to refuse service to tourists speaking English with American accents. Public polling in 2024 revealed that less than 40% of Germans held a favorable view of the U.S., a steep decline from previous decades. The media often portrays American politics as chaotic and polarizing, and those perceptions are now bleeding into daily interactions. If Germany was on your travel bucket list, hit subscribe for deeper insight into how political tensions are impacting tourism. Number 4. United Kingdom. Once dubbed the special relationship, the bond between the US and the UK is under serious strain. With Brexit's aftermath, disagreements over foreign policy, and diverging global priorities, London and Washington no longer see eye to eye on many issues. Immigration officers at Heathrow are reportedly taking longer with American passports. Cultural shifts, especially in younger UK populations, now associate America with political instability, gun violence, and global arrogance. Even American expats living in the UK report feeling more isolated or stereotyped. Public demonstrations in 2024 often included signs criticizing American foreign interventions and calling for the UK to distance itself from US influence. This subtle yet widespread attitude shift makes the UK a place where Americans may no longer feel at ease, especially if they openly discuss politics. United Kingdom ever felt out of place in the UK as an American? Share your experience below, and make sure to subscribe for stories that global media won't tell. Number 5. Denmark. Denmark, often seen as one of the happiest and most progressive countries in the world, has increasingly distanced itself from American ideals. From environmental policy clashes to Arctic sovereignty disputes, especially the controversial U.S. proposal to buy Greenland, Denmark's tolerance for American arrogance has thinned. In 2024, several Danish newspapers criticized American tourists for being culturally insensitive, especially regarding sustainability and climate issues. Cafes and hostels in Copenhagen have reportedly begun turning away rowdy American tourists, and some locals have posted signs asking for respectful visitors, not loud Americans. The difference in values, universal healthcare, low gun violence, climate action, makes Danes question the direction of American society. Many now view the US as a nation in decline, rather than a global leader. Want to learn how Americans can be better global guests? Subscribe now and travel smarter. Number 6. France. France has always had a complicated relationship with the United States, one filled with admiration, rivalry, and resistance. But in 2024, patience has run thin. The U.S. stance on climate change, digital taxes, and foreign wars continues to alienate the French public. In Paris and Lyon, American tourists are frequently met with eye rolls or passive-aggressive service. Several establishments have posted menus in French only, subtly discouraging English-speaking tourists. Others simply avoid serving large American groups altogether. Protests against U.S. foreign policy often draw large crowds in French cities, with many participants openly blaming Americans, not just their government, for global issues. While France remains a dream destination for many, Americans visiting today must brace for a cooler, less forgiving experience. France still on your dream list? Subscribe to learn how to travel without making the wrong impression. Number 7. Canada. Canada, the closest and friendliest neighbor to the US, is starting to show signs of America fatigue. While the border remains open, Canadians are increasingly critical of American politics, environmental practices, and cultural exports. Surveys in 2024 show that over 50% of Canadians believe the US is having a negative influence on the world. American tourists, especially those from border states, are reporting increased scrutiny at crossings, slower customs checks, and more pointed questions about travel purposes. Online, Canadian influencers and content creators are vocal about distancing their national identity from American trends. Many locals have even created guides on how to not act like an American tourist. Think Canada is always friendly? Think again. Hit subscribe for real travel stories and updates. The world is watching America, and not always kindly. As U.S. policies ripple across the globe, everyday American travelers are now facing the consequences of how their country is perceived. Whether it's suspicion at borders, cultural backlash, or outright rejection, the decline in America's global image is real, and it's hitting home for tourists. Travel smarter, stay aware, and subscribe to our channel for updates on where Americans are truly welcome, and where they're not.